Are you into tough guys, or do you like them to be a little sweet? Today we're going to break it down and finally answer your question, who's better for you long term? Is it macho man or is it the sensitive guy? Stay tuned to find out more. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, welcome, and for those of you who are coming back, consider subscribing. So today's video has to do with answering the question of who's actually better for a woman long term? Is it the macho man or is it the sensitive man? We put them to the test by analyzing the following points: attractiveness, listening ability, likelihood of faithfulness, relationship continuity, and finally, family compatibility. Once this is done, let me know in the comments who you think might be better for you and why. Our first metric has to do with attractiveness. It's important for macho men to appear dominant in whatever they do, and so by this logic, they will take a lot of care of their bodies. A lot of macho men might be involved in sports, working out, or other physical activities that keep them fit for longer. Agreed, this can be great for a lot of women who are looking for that eye candy, but if you're somebody who's looking for someone you can have a conversation with, somebody who you can connect with on a deeper level, then a sensitive guy might be a solid contender here. The sensitive guy features a larger percentage of the overall population, and he can come in many shapes and forms. These men focus on getting to know you better and to establish rapport within your relationship. And in the event that this relationship actually carries on for a while, you'll find that the sensitive man gets better as time goes on. They may be better conversationalists, or they might be really funny. Not to say that macho men can't be these things, but it's highly likely that if somebody has the ability to establish that kind of rapport with you, you're going to find him funny and comforting all the same. So let's compare our options. The first one might be really good at the first glance, but the second one might get better after 2 to 3 meetings. So which one works for you? Let us know in the comments below. Point 2 has to do with listening ability. Let's start off with the macho man. The macho man is definitely going to have a lot of opinions about things. It's because he's used to taking up the role of being dominant in the relationship, and he's going to be very helpful and he's going to address your every need without you actively having to point it out. However, you may not get as much of a say as you want within this dynamic, because he's used to making decisions on your behalf as well. In retrospect, you might have to try a lot harder than usual to get him to see things your way. When it comes to a sensitive guy, this is what you need to know. He's going to be a great listener in comparison to the macho man. He's going to ask you for your point of view as well as your perspective on a lot of different situations. From time to time, this kind of man might need a confidence booster from you, as he's highly dependent on you in order to make a decision. See if this is something that you prefer. I say this because there are some women who aren't such big fans of men who depend on them for every decision. But for other women, these kind of men are an absolute blessing. So it really depends on what you're going for. As a woman, it's your decision to make in this case whether you are okay with somebody leading the way all the time, or whether you would like to have a say in how things happen in your relationship. Point number 3 has to do with the likelihood of faithfulness. This, of course, can be really hard to tell on the first glance, simply because people are a lot more complex than just putting simple labels on them, as how we're attempting to do here. The macho man might have a tough time expressing how he feels, but if given the right chance and the right amount of guidance, he might be able to open up and he may be able to address his intimacy challenges in the relationship as well. Once his issues with intimacy are sorted out, he's going to have no problem committing to you in the long term. The sensitive man, on the other hand, might be really good at proactively discussing the course of the relationship, but in the event his emotional needs are not being met, he'll be very straight up and he'll look to end the relationship if his needs are not being met. What would you do in this case? Would you deal with somebody who has trouble expressing himself and might turn cold on you? Or do you deal with somebody who knows what he wants from a particular relationship and isn't afraid of exploring new options in the event he doesn't find what he's looking for? Both are tough options, but it's ultimately up to you to decide. For those of you who are looking for a tried and tested way to learn a little bit more about your man, I'd recommend checking out the course, My Secret Obsession. This is an affiliate link, but I think that this will bring all of you as my viewers a lot of value, which is why I'm going to leave a link in the description so that you can go check it out if you should choose to. Think of something like this as an investment in your further learning about men. If you're in a place in your life where you think that you don't quite understand men yet, and you would benefit from this kind of instruction, then I'm going to leave the link in the description below for you, and please feel free to check it out. Okay, great. So let's finally move on to point number 4. Point number 4 has to do with relationship continuity. This refers to how likely are the macho man or the sensitive man likely to keep the relationship going in spite of as many challenges or problems that may come up. The macho man in a lot of cases tends to be traditional in the sense that he's not going to tell you if something's bothering him, and he's going to clam up and try and deal with things by himself. If he's taking the driver's seat, you can expect that he's not going to look to you for a lot of help or input. Instead, he's going to be very focused on figuring out a solution by himself. When it comes to the sensitive man in this case, he is far more likely to work with you regarding some of his and your issues. He's going to be sensitive and nurturing, and he's going to believe in the work that both of you put in together towards the betterment of your relationship. There are pros and cons to both of them. So who's there to be there the longest? I don't know yet, but I think you do at this point. But wait, before you go, we have one more point to discuss, and that is point number 5. Point number 5 has to do with family compatibility. Now, in the beginning of any relationship, one common thought that goes through almost every lady's head is this guy going to get along well with my family? And of course, in the case of both macho man and sensitive man, you have a set number of outcomes. In the case of the macho man, when you bring him home, he's very used to this, and he's actually expecting this step in your relationship. The macho man's going to get along really well with all of your brothers and your dad, and they're going to bond over some quintessential male stuff. It could be business, it could be sports, or it could be any other hobby that all of them have in common. Things can go really well in this direction as well. When it comes to the sensitive man, he too is going to do very well. He's going to be very thoughtful. He's going to pick up gifts that everyone likes because he's going to take the time and effort to actually get to know people. This may work really well for you in the event there's a lot more females in your house than men. In that particular situation, the sensitive man is a clear winner. So there we have it. What did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.